Kanshimune avoid handshakes. Nangu ubofye sanitizer. Pakula na po sanitizer. Awafuma utoile sanitizer. Public transport wala mask. Elo ubofye na sanitizer. Na muchintu wingi.
Savings groups or community-based financial institutions, CBFIs, are providing a sustainable approach for promoting access to financial services for rural people. On the 30th of September 2019, RUFEP signed a grant agreement with the Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation, Zrdf, under the Community-Based Financial Institutions Linkages window of the Innovation and Outreach Facility, IOF.
Transport wala mask. Elo ubofye na sanitizer. Na muchintu wingi wala mask. Elo ubofye na sanitizer. Akakashishi takeshile wewe. Wila ende chende. Wimono kuchendela wewe. Nakepa ya mone.
The Rural Finance Expansion Program has Innovation and Outreach Facility, has 3 windows. And the first window is what we call the community-based financial institutions linkages window. The idea behind the linkages window is that we would like to support the linkages of community-based financial institutions or service groups to the formal financial sector. We did realize that as much as we have a lot of savings groups around the country, most of the activities, all the activities are informal, and they do face a number of challenges, which include security of their money. As their savings are increasing, they get to a level where it is not safe to keep the resources in the home of the treasurer or whoever is responsible for keeping that money. There's also the challenge where a number of the members of the savings groups actually require more money from the group than what the group can actually collect. And by linking them to a formal financial institution, then they can have an access to more resources in the form of credit. These are usually found in the commercial banks or indeed formal financial institutions such as cooperatives.
Kanshimune avoid handshakes. Nangu ubofye sanitizer. Pakula na po sanitizer. Awafuma utoile sanitizer.
The project by Zrdf, supported by RUFEP, targets to link 25 savings groups in rural Mkushi and Luano districts to formal financial service providers, FSPs. With the outbreak of the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, the savings groups have been negatively affected by the pandemic. In Zambia, COVID-19 disrupted group meetings, the way savings groups conduct business, and social cohesion in communities. With the pandemic unyielding, the Government of Zambia announced measures to adapt to the new normal, requiring people to wear face masks, sanitize, and exercise social distancing in meetings to protect themselves.
Kanshimune avoid handshakes. Nangu ubofye sanitizer. Pakula na po sanitizer. Awafuma utoile sanitizer. Public transport wala mask.
In Mkushi Rural and Luano District of Central Province, RUFEP has been supporting the Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation, Zrdf, to promote savings groups since November 2019. Under RUFEP's CBFI linkages window, Zrdf is promoting savings groups using the savings and internal lending community SILC methodology in the 2 rural districts.
The Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation approached RUFEP with an innovation of proposing to link the savings groups that are working with in Luano Valley and Mkushi districts of Central Province. They have been working with these groups for some time, and the idea was that they try and link the 25 savings and internal lending communities groups, which is a methodology for savings groups, to a formal financial institution. And as the Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation was exploring to have a relationship with the Zambia National Commercial Bank, or indeed any financial service provider that is available in the valley. RUFEP signed an agreement, a grant agreement with Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation on the 30th of September 2019, and this agreement runs for 1 year. And we're hoping that by the end of this 1 year, Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation would actually have linked all the 25 groups to Zambia National Commercial Bank.
From the 15th to 18th June 2020, a RUFEP team conducted field visits of Zrdf supported SILC Groups in rural Mkushi and Luano districts to monitor progress and to assess how savings groups were coping with COVID-19 under the new normal.
We hope in the wake of COVID, they want to know what you are doing, because that's also another cross-cutting issue that is coming. And then also, as we prepare to go in the field, we want you to, the key interest is to see how the communities are responding to this new epidemic or pandemic.
During the mission, the RUFEP team, accompanied by the Zrdf team, visited selected SILC groups in Mkushi Rural and Luano districts under Chief Shaibila and Chief Chikupili. In Chief Shaibila in Fuwila area, the delegation visited Chilope SILC Group in Chilope village and Butemwe SILC Group in Mukusulo village in Luano district.
Pamulandu wa virus ya isako bana mayo tulabakoselesha ukumona okweba tilana mayo ili waleisa kusiuku afiri akwata mask then ili wabale ikala bafire batalukanshanya tabafire baba chipi ngabafika bafire basamba kuminwe twali bafunda imisambire ya kuminwe ifyo bafire basamba ero nakairi pakupenda kwa mpia tulabakoselesha libiriri bilokulakwata okulasamba ko kuminwe ukuposhanya twali balesha ukweba tabafire okulaposhanya
pamonga bana mayo twasambira poko bachira muntu kufala maskero takuri ukuposhanya nangu kuikala kutarukana takuri kupalamana ukuikala
ulwele bwako lono kubuchingirira kusamba kuminwe stage yonse irefa ikwa ne follow tune fala patono nangu abana kubasamfye stage yonse lolo alefuma kusaidi afira samba kuminwe na sopo ninshama lwele tule yachingirirako.
In Chikupili area under Chief Chikupili, the entourage met with Hard Work SILC Group in Busa community. The meeting was at Busa Primary School.
Demona bali nonsta tuleba funda kona pabulwero bubwaisa obwa corona kumono kwebati ama members yesu nabena baletwala kwense mu maya ndo balefuma tulaba funda tukupitira mufyo tumono kwebati bale isunga bwino
obubulwazi bwatu swaya bulwazi bwa corona bwatugate hamugatiga minzi yesu amugatiga masiuku oloma business muri gusiuku twakacherwako kutarika kusevinga makana kwamba ati vakamba ati unyina kuswangana twakacherwako kutarika kusevinga mari unomwaga but mukuinda mukwiya mbona bwinga balatuyiha kwamba uti mulako hamwatarika but kukalako 1 meter apart and then kusamba kumanza mbona muri mwabona ka container kaya ndino mwaswangana mwasamba kumanza nsipa no mwatarika meeting yeno akuzwa mwasamba kumanza ino buburwazi bwatukataha makana miswangani ne maningi kuma business muri mu SILC Group business tayenji kaboto to kunyikaibamba tukunyina kuendenda kukala byanganda.
With the lockdown partially lifted, schools had partially opened, beginning with examination classes and final year students at the time of the visit.
What is corruption? What's corruption? We are saying is simply the act of being dishonest. These are normally done by the government officers or any person who is in power. They normally do this. Then we have also look at the forms of corruption. Number one, we have got pitch corruption and also political corruption, grant corruption, and the bribe corruption. These are the 4 forms of corruption.
Later, the team proceeded to meet other SILC groups in Chikopili. The SILC groups assembled at the home of Mrs. Hilda Chisowa, a widow and a member of Tukabasanga SILC Group.
Ubulwele bwaisa bukali bulepa y'abantu. Tulingira okuba abasaka okusamba ku minwe era okusamba ku minwe tekusamba kwa tirimbi ninkwashira ya bulesa mumuli bemba ati tuwi awe okusamba ku minwe half minute elo no kutalukana kumunanji kwa ati 5 na taluka pali abanangu natesula tia yangu tayafikepo pali ai so kolona kuichingiro obusaka noti ukubambakana no kusamba ku minwe ile paya ifyo ikalipa kufininkanya kwa kupema. So mwe bantu tuyisa kama no kusamba korona kuminwe na sopo bwino ai.
Kanshimune avoid handshakes nangu ubofye sanitizer.
SILC Group members in the Kampelembe area gathered at Kampelembe Primary School for the scheduled visit by RUFEP and Zrdf.
Abantu ebo kwebati mukwechingirira ku bulwere obu tulingire at least ture samba ko kuminwe firafine ture bomfyako na masopo then kwabako no kufalo tuma mask twine no kwato obusaka pantopo turi kanshi mukumona ko andinde mono kwebati finga twali fichitire bonse nga bekara charo no kwata social distance nga chakwewo kwebati twaumfa kufilela ndaba chipani chabumi mukutira tukakwata okuyichingira ku myoyo Yesu kupitira mu mashwale ndo kuchipani chabumi.
The Zambia Rainbow Development Foundation, Zrdf, has not only been supporting SILC groups on COVID-19 sensitizations, but also schools and health centers. Zrdf donated COVID-19 sensitization materials, hand washing water drums, and sanitizers to schools and health centers in Luano and Mkushi rural districts.
The ways in which we should prevent our children or protect our children from this scourge, among them are the hand washing activity. It has to be a continuous process. Each time a child goes out, before getting into class, a child should wash their hands. Also, social distancing. Our classes are being marked 1 meter apart. No child should sit near the friend. Even the pattern or the style of marking books, we don't follow learners. Instead, the books should be put somewhere. That is where the teacher goes to mark. The Zrdf are providing us an enormous support, as I earlier alluded to. The support, as we can see, there is 1 by 3 classroom block that is being built. In addition to that, they are providing us with the continuous activities.
Kanshimune avoid handshakes. Nangu ubofye sanitizer. Pakula na po sanitizer. Awafuma utoilet sanitizer. Public transport wala mask.
Right now, we've been privileged to be given infrared thermometers, which means it's easier to screen patients rather than the ones that we're used to in the armpits. It will take much time. Even the contact will be so much. So the first thing that we do, there's a tent there as you're entering, which has been mounted, that patients who are coming in are screened. So no one should enter our facility as being screened. And there's a hand washing basin there used for hand washing, so that everybody washes their hands. So every entry point, these sides have been closed until maybe themselves they vandalize their way inside. But there's only one way that has been allowed, so that patients are screened as they are coming in and they wash their hands. And we're making sure that people around here are wearing masks. If not masks, the chitenges.
Public transport wala mask. Eno uwamfye na sanitizer. Muchintu wingi wala mask. Eno uwamfye na sanitizer. Akakashishita keshilewa.
Kamkuyu Farmer Savings Group is one of the groups visited in Masansa. Formally registered by the Registrar of Societies, the group has a total of 50 members with 22 men and 28 women. Mr. Howard Mumba is a member of Kamkuyu Farmer Savings Group and a community-based health volunteer in Masansa.
Taking advantage yaka bumwe kasi ukwiringirine tulalanda pama lwele ndio tule kumana tulalanda pama lwele ayadi mu community tulalanda pali malaria tulalanda pali HIV no ubwine obulwele nomba obututebelele ubwa COVID-19 ngachakumwena kuni mwamona na abantu abatuli nabo pano paka bungwe bali bamwe bayipekene okulingana nefyo intantiko ya COVID-19 ife bafwire okuyisunga chimbicho ningalanda pali COVID-19 ngaka bungwe kulingana nechile tushupako ubulwele bwa COVID-19 namuwesha amakwebo panshi ama business ayengi ayo tufwire turechita na ya shupa.
At the end of the field visit, RUFEP was happy to see that SILC Groups have adapted in the wake of COVID-19 and continue to meet and conduct business under the new normal. Speaking on behalf of RUFEP, Knowledge Management Specialist Mr. Kefas Monga commended Zrdf for supporting SILC Groups in Mkushi Rural and Luano Districts and sensitizing communities, schools, and health centers on COVID-19.
In terms of adherence to COVID, we've seen the communities, the saving groups putting on the masks. Though on the social distance aspect, there's still more to be done in terms of sensitizations. It is not enough to just put a mask, but also they need to be sensitized on maintaining social distancing. So it's good that the groups are continuing to adapt and also continue to improve in the wake of COVID. And we hope as the new normal, they will continue to grow.
It was so interesting and also to learn the impact of the savings, the business that they are doing at household level. And as such, to us, it's always a learning curve.
Kanshimune avoid handshakes. Nangu ubofye sanitizer. Pakula na po sanitizer. Awafuma utoilet sanitizer. Public transport wala mask. Eno ubofye na sanitizer. Na muchintu wingi wala mask. Eno ubofye na sanitizer. Akakashishita keshilewa.